Hi, Lindy.
Hello,
How
how
you
are you?
doing? I'm good, thank you. This is a first bare bones selfie interview slash concert song thingy type thing. We are interviewing all 16 artists that are going to be a part of the bare bones and upfront concert indie concert series at the Toronto Centre for the Arts, and we're gracing. Lindy's home out in Parkdale, wonderful part of Toronto. I think maybe my first question for you is your last name. Because
Yeah,
I looked, I tried, and I didn't want to in any way, shape, or form mangle that. Can you just pronounce it?
it's pronounced Vapenfjord, and Vapenfjord is a fjord in Iceland. It's actually pronounced Vapnafjordur. So Vapnafjordur is named Vapnafjordur because of a guy who was named Vapni because of his skills at manipulating weaponry, which Vapni means weapons. So it means like inlet of weapons, if you will.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
You're not from Toronto. Where have we captured you to bring you into the T dot?
Well, I grew up in Winnipeg, and then when I was 14, I moved out to BC, and went to high school and university out there, and then was touring constantly out west, and then eventually just moved to Toronto because this is where the scene is in Canada, or at least it was then, and now it's everywhere. So.
Does that, in the fact that you say it's everywhere, then is Toronto still that crown jewel, or is it the fact that you can move out to Ottawa, you could go to Montreal, you could, go to Hamilton
Yeah,
and do stuff?
I think it really depends on what kind of music you play and what it is that you want to do. Like if you're an artist that wants to be like a really commercial type of artist, then you can come out to Toronto and almost the entire industry is here. So that would be a good reason to come here. It's why I came here. Of course, those are different times. Now the internet is, blasting everywhere. So really, as a folk artist, you don't have to be in the big city. You can be in a small town now. And you can actually pay less rent and get a lot more work and just stay on the road. And you don't have to worry about, being in clubland and the big, rock scene and the, bar scene and that sort of thing. Which is, unless you want to do that, which is totally fun, and I definitely encourage that as well.
Now you bring up folk. Is that what you'd categorize your music as?
Folk is, that's where my roots are. So, my roots are in folk music, and my parents were folk singers, and we had a folk singing group when we were kids. As soon as we were old enough to sing, before we even learned to talk, they got us up on stage singing with them, and that's how we sort of grew up, singing Icelandic folk songs.
So a lot of your do you see that then being helping you in your creative piece in creating the music that you do because of that background, or have other things kind of come into the fray?
Well, besides the costumes that we used to wear, I think that the singing of those songs and those melodies definitely have influenced, my grasp of what songs are and what melody is. So I think that has definitely been an influence. And I think that, the folk music that we also sang, my dad is a songwriter, so, we sang a bunch of his songs that were like very, pro-Canada, all about how wonderful Canada is and how wonderful Manitoba is and so on and so forth. And so yeah, just lots of material like that influenced me growing up.
Very cool. One last question then. Being that you're in Toronto, what is the scene like right now? And you've been here for a while. What's that progression been from when you came to Toronto first to what it is now in 2014?
Well, when I first came to Toronto, it was the late '90s, and for me, it was like playing all the bars, the Horseshoe, the Rivoli, the Bovine, you know, playing all the dirty little clubs and dives and staying out all night and meeting tons of people and partying with them, having fun and you know, rehearsing every day with a rock band down in the rehearsal factory on Richmond, and we did that for, you know, several years. And yeah, so I think it's changed a lot since the internet obviously has been the great equalizer. And like I said before, you don't have to really be in a big city anymore. You know, you can come in and out of it. But that said, I love Toronto, I love living here, and I don't see myself going anywhere else for a long time.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. You're going to play a song for us?
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear it.
All right. This song is called Below the Canopy, and it's the first song from my latest record, and it's also it was my first #1, which was a #1 on the CBC Radio 3 Top 30 in July of 2013. She lives all alone up there in a cabin above the trees, speaking in tongue-twisted words, singing the darkest melodies. And below the canopy, by the light of a flame, in the blackest of nights, I feel the same, I feel the same. Oh my love, my mind, you keep me guessing, but I can't draw the line. How do you know when it's time? Can we be lost in the wind? Can we get together again? Your memory stirs up the soul, making me feel so all alone. I wanna be a memory for your love. I want to be forgiven for all I've done. Can you tell me the best thing that I could have said? Because I feel the same, I feel the same. Oh my love,